Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Erika B here. In this video, we will focus on a January 2022 plan with me. I will be using the HB90 Method Q1 2022 planner, and I'll go ahead and link the Etsy shop where you can purchase the planner. Alright guys, let's get planning. Okay, so bear with me because this was my first plan with me. But first, I'm going to start with the milestones. This comes from the HB90 planner. It does focus on Q1, which is the first 90 days of the quarter. So it's all the things that you want to get completed by the last day of the month. So you have January 31st, February 28th, and March 31st. So right now, the planner does ask for a theme. So my theme for quarter one is to simply just be happy. That's what I want to focus on at the beginning of this year. So you have 3 different goals. My first goal is Erika B, which is my writing career. The second goal is what I want to focus on with social media. And my third goal is my business, which is virtual assistant. So that's all I'm currently writing down right now. So for Erika B, I want to release 2 books in January, 2 books in February, and 2 books in March. So now I'm going through my 2022 writing plan to write down the dates of when I want to release. For each of these months. And I realize now that I'm going to have to use a darker marker so it shows up on camera. So for my social media, I'm focusing on increasing my following by 5 people or subscribers or followers every month. So right now I have Instagram, 3 Instagrams, Facebook group, 2 Facebook like pages, Twitter, TikTok, my mailing list. Those are the things where I want to see growth by 5. So it should be 15 followers by the end of March. For my virtual assistant business, this is just me detailing how many clients I would like to have by the end of the month. So for January, I want a total of 4, same thing for February and March. So I'm just looking to have 4 clients for every month. Oh, actually, so now we are moving to the calendar, and I'm focusing on first marking off every Sunday, because in the new year I told myself that I will not work on Sundays, or at least I won't write on Sundays. So right now I am getting ready to cross out every Sunday of the month. And I also get my stickers from the Procrastive Planner. She has a lot of great things, and I love her Etsy shop, so I'll go ahead and link that as well in the description box. So I wasn't sure because I'm in a sprinting group. I wasn't sure if we were going to have double down day on the first, because it's normally the first Saturday of the month, but again, it was the first of the year. So we didn't end up having it on that day. She moved it to the 8th. The next, I put Happy Book Birthday because last year I released 2 books in January. So what you see me highlighting are things that I need to pay attention to when it comes to my self-edits for the books that I want to turn in. Right here, I am highlighting one Saturday because it's a potential day off for me, and I want to remember that so I don't end up working if I don't have to. So next, we are going to go focus on updating the notes section. So the notes for me are things that I need to remember for the month, but don't particularly have a set due date. It's just something that needs to be done before the 31st of January, and that's what I'm explaining here. So it doesn't go on the calendar portion. It stays in the notes just so I don't forget to say, hey, Erika, this needs to be done before the end of the month. So here I am crossing out days past since doing this calendar in the last week of December. So now starting, I am going to go through the Mondays of the list. I have 2 deadlines, 1 release day. So in the month of January, I am trying to release book 13, but also turn in books 14 and 15 to my publisher for February to release. Oh, and also right here, I'm explaining that although I have a deadline of January 3rd, technically I have to have my book into my publisher 2 weeks before my uh, requested release day. So January 3rd is a self-imposed deadline, but on January 11th, if I want to release in January a second time, I definitely need to have that book into her no later than January 11th. So you'll see me use one sticker for deadline, but then also a sticker that says book due, because that lets me know that that's when it has to be into my publisher. If I don't make the January 11th due date, then my chances of releasing again in January go out the window. And as we looked at the milestones earlier in the video, that was one of the goals, was to have 2 books turned in by January 31st. So I used the blue pen to see how many words I wanted to write that day. Now I'm looking in my planner to see what days in February I wanted to release, so I can put my self-imposed deadline and the publisher deadline into play. So my self-imposed deadline is the 17th of January, but in order to release by February 9th, I need to have it to my publisher January 25th. So right now I'm just placing both of those on the calendar. So in this video, like I stated before, the blue marker was to dictate how many words I wanted to write that day. Now, if I don't have a client with my business, then I'm able to get as much as 10,000 words. If I do have a client, then I can get between 5,000 to 6,000. So some of them you will notice will say 8, just to push the envelope a little bit, and some you will see it says 10. This is me banking on client versus no client. And here, although you can't see it on screen, I am writing begin new story, just to let me know by those self-imposed deadlines, because writing is my full-time business. So my days are filled with writing. So the arrow just signifies that I don't have any outside tasks to do. So although I'm writing 10K, that's just me saying this is what you can focus on, and I'll probably end up pulling something from my notes section to do on those days once I hit my word count goal. So once I hit that 10K or 8K or 5K, depending on how I'm feeling that day, because it definitely depends on how you feel when you're writing. Then I'll pull something over, or it'll just be a day of writing. So again, it's just me basically saying to add those notes into those blank spaces so I have something to do if I hit those goals early. I'm in charge of birthdays this year with my pen sisters and with my publisher. So I'm definitely marking down everyone's special day. So number one, I don't forget. And, just to give myself more, I think I have their birthdays on about 4 planners just so there's no miscommunication or forgetfulness. And in that orange marker is me saying when I want to release. That's why I have to turn that book in on January 11th, because I want to release on the 26th of the month. So that side of January is done. So for the second half, or just the second page, I don't really have any tasks left. You just see everything on Saturday. So for this side, you will notice me simply adding word count goals for the remaining days, because there aren't any tasks to do Thursdays and Fridays this month. So you'll notice that the majority of my planner, excuse me, sorry, you'll notice that the majority of my planner will simply be me just adding word count goals. And because I plan on writing essentially 3 to 4 books this month, I do plan to take a break on the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st, and then jumping right back into writing February 1st. So you'll notice the pink marker, I'm definitely putting writing break. That was me trying to figure out what day I wanted to start the break. But I wanted to give myself that Friday off, so I could have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All right, so that is my calendar for the month. Again, this is my first time, so I will get better with angling and how it looks. But thank you so much for joining me with planning the month of January. I hope success to everyone who watches. And, so here I am adding the goals for January from the milestones list for my social media. But that was the last thing that I did before I cut the video. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope to see you guys back on January 29th as we plan for February. And hopefully I'll get to use some of my washi tape and more of my markers. I'll remember to use darker colors this time. Thank you guys.